Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, Ravens fans. You know how the offseason has always been a time of speculation, but this year, the buzz is really heating up. And the latest whispers coming from league sources, think Adam Schefter-level credible, are suggesting that the Baltimore Ravens might be involved in a blockbuster trade that could reshape the entire AFC North landscape. It's not every day you see a team like the Browns, sitting at 2-8 and already in a total rebuild mode after a disastrous season, openly shopping one of the league's premier pass rushers, Myles Garrett. And I gotta tell you, Ravens fans, that's a game changer. Let's back up for a second. The Browns, despite their struggles, have a lot of cap space, about $19 million, and are prioritizing their youth movement, especially on defense. They're looking to clear out some cap space to extend Deshaun Watson, which will gobble up around $22 million of their budget next year, leaving less room for veteran stars like Garrett. With that in mind, rumors suggest they're open to trading Garrett, perhaps to the Ravens, in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would Cleveland give up such a dominant pass rusher? Well, with their current trajectory, they're focusing on rebuilding their roster from the ground up, especially their defensive front, and Garrett might be the piece they're willing to part with to accelerate that rebuild. On the other side, the Ravens, sitting comfortably at 7-3 with about $15 million in cap space, are eyeing a disruptive force that can transform their front seven. A player like Garrett, who's been compared to TJ Watt in terms of pure pass rushing ability, could be exactly what this defense needs to take the next step. For the Ravens, their defensive issues this season have been evident. With injuries like the absence of Broderick Washington and Michael Pierce, as well as some inconsistent performances from other linemen, their pass rush has been good but not great. Garrett's addition could be the spark that elevates their pressure rate from around 30% to over 50%, a level where defenses become truly dominant. That's the kind of impact that can flip games and ultimately the playoff picture. Let's talk about Garrett's profile for a moment. He's a player who's been a wrecking ball for Cleveland with an impressive career total of 110. 5 sacks, averaging over 11 sacks per season, and a knack for making game-changing plays. In 2025, he's been playing a limited schedule, just 9 games, yet still managed to rack up 11 sacks along with 24 solo tackles and 10 assists. His pressure rate hovers around 22%, and he's been a force in the run game too, stopping plays at a rate of about 40%. The key here is his health, minimal injuries this season, with just 1 game missed due to a shoulder injury, so durability remains a plus. His speed and bend are elite, with a bend speed of 85% and the ability to bend around blockers at the crucial moments, making him a nightmare for offensive lines. Now, let's consider what Garrett's addition would mean for Baltimore. First, his presence would immediately improve the pass rush, projecting an additional 14 sacks to the team's total. That would push the Ravens' sack tally well above their current mark, putting them in the top tier of NFL defenses. More pressure equals more turnovers, garbage passes, hurried throws, and of course more strip sacks. If Garrett can be the catalyst to raise the Ravens' forced turnovers from around 1.4 per game to closer to 2.5, that's a game changer. It also frees up other players like Odafe and Justin Madubuike to excel in their roles. Plus, with Garrett's ability to draw double teams, he's double-teamed around 18% of the time. Other defenders benefit from that additional one-on-one matchup. That means more opportunities for guys like Oy or even rookies to make plays. And let's not forget the ripple effect on the secondary. With a consistent pass rush, quarterbacks are forced to hold onto the ball longer, giving the secondary more time to cover. That could reduce yards per pass from around 6.8 down to about 5.3, which significantly impacts the offense's ability to sustain drives and score points. It's a complete defensive upgrade, one that can turn the Ravens from a good team into a championship-caliber squad. And if you look at the history of trades like this, think Khalil Mack to the Bears in 2018, which helped them jump from 5 wins to 12. It's clear that acquiring a disruptive pass rusher can be the move that sets a team apart in the postseason. Of course, all of this hinges on the details. The Browns are reportedly willing to part with Garrett for a first-round pick in 2026, which makes sense considering they're prioritizing youth and cap flexibility. For Baltimore, that pick could turn into a cornerstone player down the line. But it's not just about the draft pick. It's about the immediate impact Garrett can have on this defense. Pairing him with Odefoe, ensuring he gets plenty of one-on-one matchups, could make this Ravens defense unstoppable. Plus, it sends a message to the rest of the league. Baltimore is all in, and they're ready to make bold moves to contend for another Super Bowl. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this move could have playoff implications. Garrett's presence boosts the Ravens' chances of winning critical late-season games and gives them a better shot at home field advantage in the AFC. The odds of winning the Super Bowl, which are currently around +1,800, could drop to +700 or even lower if this trade materializes and the team gels quickly. It's about creating a defense that can dominate in the playoffs, harass the best quarterbacks, and force turnovers when it counts most. The Ravens have a rich history of making smart, strategic moves. Think of the trade for Marcus Peters in 2019 or the acquisition of Calais Campbell. And this could be the next chapter in building a dynasty. In terms of the AFC North, this trade could shift the balance of power. Cleveland's rebuilding efforts might slow down because losing Garrett weakens their pass rush significantly, especially in a division that's already competitive. Meanwhile, the Ravens' defense becomes even more intimidating, making it harder for opponents to score and easier for them to control the clock and game tempo. This kind of upgrade isn't just about one season. It's about establishing dominance for years to come. And let's not forget the emotional and psychological impact. Adding a player like Garrett, who's known for his relentless work ethic and leadership, could inspire the entire defense to elevate their game. It's a statement move, a declaration that Baltimore is not just content with competing, but is aiming for the top. The AFC is stacked, no doubt, but with this kind of addition, the Ravens put themselves in a much stronger position to challenge for that elusive Super Bowl. As we look ahead, fans are buzzing about the possibility of this trade happening. Will it come to fruition? Only time will tell, but the speculation alone has already energized the fan base. It's one of those moves that can define a franchise's trajectory, and if it does happen, it could be remembered as one of the most impactful trades in recent Ravens history. The team has always been about resilience, strategic brilliance, and seizing opportunities, and this might just be the moment to step up and make a statement. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now looking at how this could shape the Ravens' playoff run, it's pretty clear that Garrett would be a game changer. His ability to pressure quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, or Josh Allen in the postseason could be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. His impact on the defense would make Baltimore a nightmare for any offensive line, especially in high-stakes moments. The Ravens have been building a solid foundation on offense, with Lamar Jackson leading the charge, but defense wins championships, and adding Garrett would reinforce that core principle. Furthermore, this move could send shockwaves across the AFC. The Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins, everyone would be on notice. The Ravens aren't just trying to make the playoffs. They're aiming to dominate, and Garrett could be the final piece needed to elevate their game to Super Bowl contender status. It's about creating a defense that can consistently pressure elite quarterbacks, force turnovers, and keep the score low when it counts. It's the kind of move that could turn the tide, not just for this season, but for the next few years. In conclusion, fans, this potential trade is one of those rare opportunities that could define a franchise's future. It's bold, it's strategic, and it's exactly the kind of move that the Ravens have historically been willing to make when they're serious about winning it all. Garrett's talent, combined with the Ravens' organizational savvy, could be the perfect storm that propels Baltimore back to the Super Bowl stage. So, stay tuned, keep your fingers crossed, and get ready for what might be one of the most exciting developments in Ravens history. Because if this trade happens, it's not just about adding a player. It's about changing the entire narrative of the franchise, solidifying their place among the NFL's elite, and giving fans hope for another Super Bowl run that might finally end that long drought. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news.